Ah, the last of what I'm seeking. I have no space for that. I have no space for that. I'm carrying enough already. Battle Lord, accept your death.
Spirits in the trees be damned. You actually entered the Red Veil and survived. Every Ogham kid knows, if you step 1 foot in there, you'll be skewered and eaten. Well, those kids that are lucky enough to have a mother, that is. How, rusted is the gear? Any of it salvageable? Worth anything? Just, thinking out loud. None of it's junk. Trust me. As an esteemed member of no clan at all, I had the distinct honour of wandering through the lovely sights of all 4 seasons. Summer heat, winter chill, take your pick. For company, it was my pleasure to sup with the outlaws, the deranged, and the unwanted. It's simply unthinkable that I never met a nice girl to settle down with, isn't it? It won't be like this forever. I'm gonna build my palace someday. Been planning it since I was small and found myself on my own. Imagine with me, if you will, a vast span of wood above you in the trees. That's the foundation you're looking at. You ascend a tremendous spiral staircase around an ancient trunk and find yourself approaching a treehouse worthy of the first ones. Dozens of lavish bedrooms, two stocked kitchens, tall spires, a tower that looks out over all of Ogham, and half a Farrell for good measure. Isn't it glorious? That's where I really live. This cold, damp, hungry world is just an illusion. Oh, Ridley's all right. Only man in the village that didn't run me out of town whenever he saw me. Well, maybe it's because he didn't have a daughter to protect. You killed the Devourer in its own lair? That's mighty brave of you, hero. Now at least we won't starve to death. One less way to die, I guess. Farewell, hero.
Here are your spikes, but be cautious. They stayed warm after forging no matter how many times I quenched them. I would ask what you need these for, but I'm putting my trust in you.
How was this man able to craft these? He is more gifted than he knows.
It's a shame what happened to old Brannock. He was a kind man in life, but I can't say I'll miss the creature he became. Oh, he tried to batter his way in for 5 full days once he rose again. Well, we thought we were done for. But then you came along, and I'm glad you did. That place used to be a kind and warm wood. I even played there when I was young. It's a dark well now, with no way out for most. I'd go with you, but I got people to protect here. Bad enough I have all these folks to protect. I've been worried sick about my son ever since the Count's men arrested him. I was hoping you might have seen him when you were in their custody. He's a big lad, but you can't miss him because, well, he's not from around here. I found him washed up on the riverbanks when he was just a child, a Karoi foundling, perhaps lost by some raiding party. Nobody ever came for him, though. Every day here in Clearfell, I keep my eyes on the river, hoping he'll miraculously wash up on its lonely sands just one more time. This part of Farrell has been a fair home for many an Esomite generation. The clans didn't always get along, but we had to settle our feuds when the Eternals laid their savage boot upon us. We weren't able to take part in the Bloody Flowers Rebellion, but we had our share of conflict with them here. Their ruins run over the top of ours, fighting a silent war in stone. Till next time. What have we got? Anything take your fancy? I'll find some use for that. Might make good scrap. Stick to the carrots.
frost bomb pulses with ice, reducing enemies' resistance to elemental damage. After a time, the fireball explodes on impact, and living bomb plants a seed of fire within the target. Killing the target or dealing enough damage to it causes the seed to explode. Frost darts fires multiple icy projectiles. Orb of Storms arcs lightning to nearby enemies. Fire
You have them. Stab them into the runewood sights. The great sword Agnar is currently in Count Gianor's possession. But the mighty rune blade was not always his to wield. It is an ancient weapon of the old magics, inspired by the great wolf himself. Legend says it was forged and runed for the original clan leader so he might lead his people to a new, safer land. This brought them to Farrell, where they founded Ogham. The tree itself will not be harmed. Agnar was passed down to the leader of the strongest clan. When the position of Count was established in Ogham, the sword was bound to the roll. But now, Gianor sullies his remarkable history with his misdeeds. I hope I will live to see the day when someone worthy takes up the sword once more. So this is the source of my shadowed dreams. Not the tree, but the shade upon it. As strange as it sounds, I believe we should help this creature. For the Count to bind it to the tree, it must be involved in all of this somehow. There is something very wrong in Ogham, and it may know something of it. My mother's mother told me tales of this tree. Our ancestors used it to attract fey spirits, until it was given a darker purpose under the Eternals. They would leave Ezamites strung up on the tree, alive, to starve, to be pecked at by birds. The Red Veil played host to the final and bloodiest battle of countless conflicts. It was in the heart of that veil that we fought for our freedom against the Eternals. We did win, in a sense. But the cost was far greater than anyone expected. Many generations of able-bodied men and women gave their lives to push off the boot of oppression. Ogham's clans haven't been the same since, even centuries on. He's unconscious, but he's breathing. Though, this wound... We should take him back to Clearfell. He may be the only one who knows what truly happened out here.
I heard you heading for the village. When I fled for my life, there was no time for me to grab all my smithing tools. If you do manage to reach my forge, you should find them and bring them here. I'll set up a bench and we can see about working on your equipment. If you find a pint out there, do bring it back.
The wound. It should be fatal, but somehow he clings to life. I fear it will not be long until his song ends. He will never heal while the Count's binding still holds sway. Only by a Count's hand can this binding be released. I know an old tale, one that speaks of a ring we might be able to recover, buried 3 centuries ago in our ancient graveyard. A Count's signet ring, bearing his rune of authority. But how to reach it in time? The grim tangle. The overgrown sinkholes and gullies that run beneath Ogham can lead you there. The path is dangerous, but go back to the Grellwood. Find the entrance. We shall see if the spirits of this land still have the will to see you through. I've collected these over time. What do you think?
to the soil. I must travel light.
Volcano creates an eruption at the target location. Holding down the skill makes the eruption more powerful. The volcano remains. Volcano creates an eruption at the target location. Holding down the skill makes the eruption more powerful. The volcano remains for a few seconds, and hitting it with a slam skill will cause it to erupt again. Unearth is a... Entangle grows gnarled roots which attach vines to nearby enemies. Damage... Monsters that die while infected with contagion will spread the infection to nearby enemies.
Blocked for now. But I sense more than just life in these vines.
If the Fae spirits are still watching, I believe they will help us. Please, wait a moment. magics still thrive. The way is open. Please, hurry.
A tale woman of melody. Impressive.
Please, you must hurry. My mother and I would come here to gather mushrooms when I was young. Ervig the Druid, one of the Grelwood's resident mystics, would meet us and allow us entry. He was well versed in the tongue of the old magics. But now, well, times certainly have changed. Please, don't eat any of the mushrooms. We need you alive. It fills my heart to see the spirits of the forest answer my call like that. It just goes to show there are still energies in this world that mean to aid us. Move quickly.